how has the pandemic affected you?
You know, I work for an airline, so it's been tough. And, you know, I've seen a lot of my friends being laid off. For my family, it's just everybody's stressed. You know, as soon as somebody gets sick, you're like, oh, you know, is it COVID? And you can't see people as much. And I got 2 boys, so it's hard on them too. You know, with school being canceled at home, is it going to be, you know, like, it's just, it takes a toll. And just tired of talking about it, tired of things reopening, closing. I'm very thankful. You know, I've been here for 24 years, but I grew up in Quebec, I'm sure you can tell. But, you know, I mean, we were thinking about moving back east. Well, and now I'm like, you know, with the mandate and everything, I'm just like, you know, and now they want to tax none. You know, it's just great. Like, I know, it's too much.
Oh, it's had a great effect on everybody. It's just changed the world, and yeah. But you get through it and you try to live your life as best you can.
I think definitely reduce socialization. My family did actually get infected with Omicron over Christmas and New Year's, so we weren't able to spend time with family and holidays. My work has been drastically impacted, so it has had an astronomical effect on me.
I retired recently and had planned to be doing traveling. I'm not doing that. I've got a daughter in Australia, which I can't go and visit. I have a daughter here who has recently just got the Omicron variant. We think she can't get tested, but she's working from home, so she can't do it, but we can't go and visit.
I lost a lot of my shifts at work, so it's hard to make enough money to get by, but, you know, I'm managing.
I mean, when it first started, I was graduating high school, or a year before graduating high school, but I graduated high school during the pandemic, so no prom, no graduation. So it's just really, I mean, all those things that you kind of look forward to as a kid, just kind of halted all those, skipped past them, and feels like time's been going by really quickly ever since.
Well, I'm currently laid off. I've lost track of how many times I've been laid off, and it's pretty unfortunate that there's been multiple months now where I've zero income or I've been applying for the wrong benefit, and after enough time goes by, it's just I was negligent in trying to find out what benefit I was qualifying for, and it's just annoying. I would love to be able to go back to work and provide for myself.
How I would say it, complicated. It's less freedom. It's just we are stuffed inside the home, afraid to go. Always calculation. There is nothing spontaneous. It kills spontaneity.
Well, getting to go to sporting events. I'm a big sports fan. Restaurants, movies. I know I have to wear the mask, but I really don't enjoy it.
I mean, there's family I haven't seen that I'm very close with for 2 years. Can't travel. Don't want to risk traveling outside of the province too far. And I mean, like everyone, I ride transit. And they do their best, but, you know, the numbers, there was a lot of exposures there. So sometimes you feel a little, not unsafe, but, you know, you're sometimes at a risk for an exposure. So things like that start to cause some anxiety.
Personally, it's mostly affected the way that I am going to school as a student. It's also affected everyone's social lives and just overall livelihoods. But I think definitely the biggest factor has been the change in the way that people are going to school and learning nowadays. So definitely being a student.
Well, we haven't seen our little granddaughter as much as we would like, and maybe once or twice a year, for one thing, and she's right in Nova Scotia, so, you know, I think that's how it impacted myself and my husband the most.
Just a wide range from everything. Whether it's work stress or, you know, being cooped up indoors, not being able to spend time outside, which is something I personally really, really love to do. So just personally, I'd say just mental fatigue. I think we're almost 2 years into it now, so to say mental fatigue, I think is honestly an understatement.
The pandemic on me, this Christmas, I've spent my Christmas in residence at school. I haven't been able to go back home across Canada to BC. So the pandemic has been very difficult as far as separation from my family and all that.
I'm claustrophobic, and being tucked away and isolating and lacking social interaction, social depth, it's been frustrating. What's really frustrating is the fact that I think we could have been through this, and there's about 10% of the population that keep dragging us back, and I'm a little bit bitter towards that fact. That I think it's a miracle. I think it's an absolute miracle that there was a vaccine developed as quickly as it was. And for us to ignore it, and it's like Dr. Fauci said, you know, if this were during the days of polio or tuberculosis, we'd still be fighting polio and tuberculosis because of these fractious groups.
Quite a bit. I mean, I'm in university right now, and I've had almost my entire degree online, which is a big change. But other than that, I'm starting to get used to it. It's the new normal. We're almost 3 years in now. It's kind of hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but hopefully it's coming soon.
My job is essentially void because of the pandemic. I worked in nursing homes as a contractor, a non-essential contractor as a music therapist, and I have been unable to work steadily for the last 2 years.
I'm home a lot. I don't see my relatives as much as I'd like to. It's a beautiful day, so I'm out walking. That's a good thing. But we're all doing the best we can. I think that I'm just accepting that it is what it is. And fortunately, I've always been able to work from home, so it hasn't affected me that way. So I feel blessed. But I do feel for people who have to go to work. That's how they make their living. So I can understand that it must be very hard on a lot of people.